Hi, welcome back to my new series called Guided and Grounded. That's the name that I came up with recently. And this is a series that I'm going to be doing once a week where I invite forward all of my spirit guides, archangels, ascended masters, my higher self, my spirit animals, my entire team of light to help guide us through a message, something that they want to share with us, something that's timely in terms of what's going on in the world, and also something that is meant for you to receive at this time. I'm setting the intention for these messages to reach you if it's meant to and when it's meant to. So if you're seeing this and when you're seeing this, I want you to know that it is meant for you at this time. And once I bring forward that message, the second part of this series is always going to be an experience guiding you through releasing something, shifting something, or integrating something. And the reason why I've set it up this way is because I really enjoy sharing perspectives and wisdom and messages from beings of light and a higher consciousness. But I feel like sometimes that's where the buck stops. And for me, that's one part of the experience of the journey of life, of the battle, whatever word you want to use to describe it. The other part is integrating it, is turning inwards and reflecting on yourself and feeling what's alive within you and giving yourself permission to acknowledge what's there, feel what's there, and shift your relationship with what's there, because that's ultimately what this is all about. It's about your experience inside of this lifetime and this reality. And if we're always looking outside of ourselves and never turning in and addressing what's here and what's now, then we're sort of missing some of the what's available for us, missing out on possibilities and being able to access energies and frequencies that maybe we're wanting to, but we're either avoiding or not sure how. And so I really wanted this experience to be one part guided and one part grounding. So guiding you into new levels of awareness and understanding, and then grounding that into your body and into your own inner wisdom and your own energetic experience of you. So, that being said, thank you so much for joining me for this guided and grounded experience today. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to tune in with my spirit guides and I'm going to see what message they have for us today. And then I'm going to begin to share it with you. So, just give me a moment and we'll see what they want to say today. So, they're immediately focusing in on the solar plexus area. And the solar plexus area is an energetic center right in your stomach, right in your core. And it's typically associated with personal power and and feeling sovereign inside of who you are and being able to show up from a sense of feeling worthy and claiming your space. And immediately I'm feeling a lack of that. And I want you to know that I'm recording this a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks before I'm posting it. So this could be in reference to something that's going on in the world, or it can be in reference to what you're personally experiencing in your own life. But I'm feeling that there's a sense of loss of personal power and a loss of, yeah, a loss of feeling seen and heard and being able to show up in the world um, authentically as you and feeling empowered inside of that experience. What else do you want to say? And I'm being shown that the reason for this is because there are always going to be people inside of this world that don't know how to claim their own power. They don't feel empowered inside of who they are. They don't know how to show up authentically as themselves, and they are afraid to own who they are and allow other people to see that. And when they hold those fears inside of themselves, they try to suppress the ability of other people to do the same. Because when they witness other people standing inside of their own power, they feel threatened by that. And this is sort of what may be playing out at this time is this power struggle of some people feeling disempowered inside of who they are and trying to suppress the ability of other people to own and claim their own power. And those of us who are feeling disempowered inside of that dynamic, witnessing our power being taken away, we are feeling that very much so. So this is going to be an exercise today of understanding how to reclaim that for yourself, because ultimately we cannot control how other people feel. We have no control over that. And if we're always going to be at the mercy of how they project that insecurity or those fears on us, then we're always going to feel stifled. Is there anything else that you guys want to say specifically about this? So they want to take us through an exercise of learning how to ground. And before I do these recordings, take some time, I get into meditation, and I have been made aware more and more about how important grounding is. And this is okay. So this is the conversation they would like me to have with you. And I felt this coming up as soon as I got into meditation, which is the understanding of what grounding really means. And thank you for reminding me. It's in the title of what this series is, Guided and Grounded. What the hell does grounded really mean, and why is it so important, and why do we always talk about it when it comes to meditation and personal development and psychic development and showing up in this spiritual space, energetic space, and also inside of your physicality. And when I first started getting into psychic work and psychic development work, I heard this term grounding thrown around a lot, and it was never really explained to me in a way that I could fully understand what it meant and why it was important. And I just kind of did it because I was told to. And the more I started developing my own psychic abilities, and the more I started channeling, the more I understood what it really meant and why it's so important. When we are not feeling grounded, what that means is we don't feel safe inside of who we are, safe inside of our sense of identity, and also safe inside of our physical body. And sometimes those are one and the same, and sometimes they're completely two different things. What they're showing me is it's very intertwined because your sense of identity is very closely tied to your physical body inside of this reality. And so when you don't feel safe in this world, then you're going to feel ungrounded. You're not going to want to, there's going to be a very part of you that's wanting to escape it, that's not going to want to live inside of this reality anymore. And what that means is that energetically, you're kind of, there's going to be a denseness inside of your energy body. It's going to feel like fear, uncertainty, resentment, shame. That all creates feelings of feeling unsafe. And when you don't feel safe inside of yourself, inside of your physical body, inside of this reality, you don't feel empowered. You don't make empowering choices. You don't feel empowered to use your voice. You don't feel empowered to show up authentically. And you may feel other people's energy trying to stifle your own that much more because unconsciously you're allowing them to. Without realizing it, you're allowing them to take up space inside of your reality because you're not feeling safe to hold a strong, firm boundary. And this is where the solar plexus becomes, I don't want to say the word weakened, but doesn't feel as capable or willing to shine brightly because there's fear. There's an unconscious fear that if you allow yourself to shine, if you take up space, someone else is going to notice and someone else is going to want to stifle that because that's sort of what we're witnessing globally at this time. And so I'm just trying to come back to my point here, which is that understanding grounding, right? Okay. So to be grounded inside of your energy means that you feel safe inside of who you are and that you feel safe showing up authentically as you and not being afraid that someone else is going to try to dim your light if you are to do that. And so there's a belief system here somewhere that's telling you that it's not safe to be you, to show up authentically as you, and to allow other people to see that shining through you because you're afraid that they're going to try to squash that. And so you dim your light, you hide who you are, you repress what you want and how you feel. This then feels disempowering and creates a dense energy body to live inside of where you're not grounded fully inside of your sense of self. You're not feeling anchored and think about like the roots of a tree. The the larger, the thicker, the stronger, and the longer the roots of a tree spread out and ground down into the earth, the taller the tree can grow and the more stable it's going to be. And the wind will be less likely to knock it over. The more anchored it is into the earth, the stronger it is, and the more space it takes up, and the less fear there is of it being knocked over or ruffled in some way. And so when we think of grounding our energy, it means strengthening and solidifying how we feel inside of who we are, being able to feel comfortable and confident and safe inside of who we believe we are and inside of our physical body and inside of this physical world. Is there anything else that you guys want to say on this topic? Okay, and they're saying that the reason, just to carry that thread through further, the reason why being grounded inside of your sense of self is important for your intuition and for your psychic development is because when you don't feel safe inside of who you are, you're not going to be as open energetically. There's going to be a very unconscious desire to close yourself off ever so slightly. Because if you let other people in, if you let other energy in, there's a fear of it squashing, suppressing, seeing parts of you that you don't want anyone, even yourself, to see. And that is the both the gift and also the complexity of opening to your intuition. Opening to your intuition is about opening to who you are. The more open you are within who you are, the more open you're going to be to what's beyond you too. We tend to think intuition is up and out. It's not. It's in. Everything is in. That's what I've learned. And that's why That's why that's the focus of the work that I do is the more comfortable you are inside of who you are, the less fear you're going to have of other energies coming in and squashing that, seeing that and stifling that. And so you're going to be more energetically open and you're going to be allowing of feeling other energies and sensing other energies and being open to other energies. And so grounding is about feeling safe inside of who you are, safe inside of your physical body, safe inside of this reality, this world. And when you can feel safer, you don't feel like you have to escape this world, this reality, this body, this sense of self, change it, fix it, alter it. You don't feel like you have to do that. You're accepting of it, even the perceived flaws. You're just accepting of it. Some things we have to be accepting of in order to be able to feel empowered to change. And when you can be accepting of your own energy and accepting of the world as it is, which is different from allowing, we can accept and also want to change something. When you can be accepting of it and open to it, you are then going to be more accepting of and open to what's beyond you as well. So as your roots grow deeper and spread wider, so will your channel grow up and out as well. Okay, is there anything else in terms of this explanation that you would like them to know? Okay. So they want to take you through an exercise now of learning, of witnessing where you might not be feeling safe and fully grounded inside of your sense of self, where there might be a part of you that's feeling unsafe, insecure, alone, misunderstood, um, not wanting to be fully seen, not wanting to be fully understood, maybe a part of you that's hiding, part of you that's scared or worried, a part of you that fears for your safety, for the safety of those around you, for what is going on in the world and where we're headed, and how to come back to a feeling of groundedness inside of you, even when the world outside of you is feeling chaotic. Yeah, what are you showing me? Okay, what they're showing me, why this is important. I'm seeing in my mind's eye a vision of all of like a forest of trees that are all so firmly grounded into the earth and standing tall and strong. And these trees are giving off an energy of this calm, peaceful, loving vibration. When each of us can come into an energy of feeling grounded and safe and allowing and loving inside of who we are, that is going to permeate and spread. And ultimately, that is how we shift the tide of energy on this planet and collectively, because it's the chaos that we're witnessing is being birthed out of an ungrounded feeling, a feeling unsafe. But when we each do our own work to find safety inside of who we are, then we create a safe environment for all of us to exist inside of. And that does spread and that does permeate. And I really want to specify that this is not necessarily the work of inaction. It's easier to take action when we feel safe to do so. It's easier to rise up and stand up when we feel safe to do so. And so that is something I really want to drive home is that this is not stepping back, this is stepping forward. Okay. All right. So next we're going to get into An exercise of understanding and learning how to ground your own energy, how to come back to safety inside of who you are. And I highly suggest pausing this video and coming back to it when you have a moment to give it the time and attention it needs, because it's going to be difficult to do this if you're distracted or if you're driving or doing other things. Okay. So I want you to find a space where you can sit or lie down comfortably, somewhere quiet and where you can and be alone to do this. It's just going to take a few minutes. And again, the guides want you to place a hand on your heart and place a hand on your stomach. And they just want you to close your eyes and take a few breaths and get accustomed to the energy that you're feeling inside of you. A lot of this work is going to be about observing your own energy and being able to differentiate, being able to observe what's here so that you can learn how to differentiate what's yours from what's not yours and what's wanted from what's no longer wanted, so that you can learn how to release what's not wanted and feel what's underneath that. And they just want you to observe what you feel. If there are any physical sensations inside of your body at this time that don't feel the way you'd like them to feel, that feel a little bit anxious or unsettled or worried, noticing what your heart rate feels like, noticing if there's any restriction or constriction in your throat. I'm seeing tension in the third eye or anywhere in the forehead or the head, like a headache or just like a furrowed brow. Noticing if you're clenching your gut or your glutes, like your hips, your hip muscles. And just noticing where you're holding any tension or constriction, because that's a sign of not fully feeling safe to relax. Noticing where the mind wants to pull you up out of this exercise by thinking about other things. That's also a sign that you don't feel safe fully relaxing and feeling the peace and the solitude and the warmth and the safety of this now moment. And they want you to visualize roots coming down through the soles of your feet, if your feet are planted on the ground, or through your spine if you're lying down, extending down through the earth, going all the way down to the center of the earth and spreading long and wide, really anchoring you into the grounded, peaceful energy of the earth below you. And what I'm seeing is that the trees and the plants of this earth are sending you their energy through your roots. They're sending you their energy of peacefulness, of joy, of safety, and of empowered resilience through their roots, through your roots, and up through your roots, up through the soles of your feet or through your spine, and slowly spreading throughout your entire body, sharing their energy with you as you learn to trust your energy with them, because they share this world with us. We have a symbiotic relationship with them, and they are here to help spread those frequencies that we are still learning how to trust. And just allowing this moment to guide you into a feeling of relaxation, noticing any tension that dissipates, and noticing the safety inside of this now moment. because inside of this now moment, you're safe. There is no threat here other than the threat that the mind creates, the stories that it's trying to pull you up into, the future potentials, the future moments, the future minutes, or the past. But inside of this present, now, endless, infinite moment, it is safe to feel safe. And I'm being asked that you reassure yourself with a word or a phrase to anchor into what this feels like that you can repeat to yourself anytime you want to. It's safe to feel safe. I am safe. I am power. I feel empowered. I love love. Love conquers all. Whatever resonates for you, whatever comes to you, and allow those words to carry you further into the safety and the trust of this now moment. And placing your hand on your solar plexus right in the middle of your stomach, and just reassuring that chakra that it's okay to feel safe, that there's nothing and nobody that can take that away from you, because in this now moment, you're not allowing them to. And just breathe into that. And whatever you learned, whoever you learned it from, that it's not okay and that it's not safe to fully relax. You are giving that belief system back. You're giving it back to source consciousness. And you're just witnessing it coming up and out of you. It is no longer yours. You are freeing it from your energy field. And you are no longer allowing those belief systems to affect you. Those were never yours in the first place, but you just innocently took them on because of how beautifully open your energy is to the thoughts and feelings of other people. And at some point in time, you made the innocent mistake of believing that those thoughts were yours too. But they're not anymore. And it's safe to let them go. And it's safe to allow safety in. And I just want you to take a deep breath and fully let this moment in and take a snapshot of what it feels like to feel safe, and what the energy inside of your body feels like. Is there frenetic energy that was there that sort of dissipated? Is the tension that was there a little bit less? Is there a feeling of emotion coming up for you and recognizing what this feels like and how different it can feel? It's all okay and it's all welcome and it's all part of the learning process. Just take a moment and feel grateful for giving yourself permission to enjoy this moment unapologetically. Because when other people can't feel safe, it's not your responsibility to hold that space with them. That's their work, that's their journey, and this is yours. You don't have to protect them from anything that they're not ready and willing to protect themselves from or to feel for themselves. I get the feeling that there's a lot of you that take that on. And if that's not what you want anymore, then you're ready to let that story go too. That you're responsible for other people's experiences of themselves and of you. I want you to take as long as you need to enjoy this moment and remember that you can come back to it anytime you want to. And remember that there are energies around you that are here to support you, the trees and the plants and the beings of light, your own spirit guides, your own higher self, and that you can call upon them anytime you want to help you ground into this feeling or any feeling that you feel is a struggle to access in that moment or that you're wanting to embody in that moment. This is just the beginning stages of learning how to shift your own energy. And that's what you just did. You shifted your energy. You released a belief system. You released what was no longer yours, no longer wanted. And I want you to move forward throughout the day knowing that you can come back to this feeling anytime you want to and sense the excitement of what's possible for you if you do. And inside of this feeling, what would you say that you didn't have the confidence to say before? How would you hold a space for someone else inside of this energy? And how can you show by example what's possible through demonstration, through living it, and through embodying it? Thank you so much for joining me inside of this experience today. Just want to double check with the guides that this is all. They are so grateful for you. Oh my God. They just want to congratulate you on showing up for you and being willing to find safety and peace where so many others may not be yet or may not know how to yet. And they want to embolden you to move forward from this space and time, knowing that it is possible to come back to this, and that if at some point you struggle to, one, that's part of the learning experience, and two, that just might be a sign that there's a lot of energy around you that you're taking on as yours that's not yours. And just give it the time that it needs because sometimes it might take longer and more effort to access this feeling than others and allow that to be what it is. Thank you so much for joining me inside of this experience today, and I'll see you next week. Bye.